What happened with Bill 21 in committee last night?
There's a whole plethora of amendments that are added that make hunting rifles, firearms that the Liberals said, in 2019, 2020, in the House and everywhere, that we're never gonna touch these firearms. They've now made those prohibited firearms. It looks as if the Liberals were going to be embarrassed and decided to ban a whole plethora of firearms that prohibit their possession. This outright ban, to me, it's lazy government is what it is. The cost, so are they going to ban these firearms now? They're going to make them illegal. Are they going to do a buyback on that, or a confiscation plan, or what's that going to cost? And if they do, there could be several million of these firearms. And if that's the case, how many more billions of dollars are they going to spend on this? And for nothing to do with public safety. What are the issues? We have increased violent crime. We have guns being smuggled in from the United States. We have gangs continue to use guns, and wreaking havoc on our streets. We have criminals who continue to use violence and firearms in the commission of offenses, continually out on bail, or don't get sentenced the way they could or should. And we have our communities at risk. And let's put those resources there, focusing on licensed firearm owners. At any stage, is misguided. We're committed to trying to do everything we can to make public safety the focus, and not misguided on attacking firearm owners who are not the problem in this country.
So the Liberal government has been being very sneaky. They're moving at the amendment stage to ban perfectly legitimate hunting rifles. And they're being very sneaky about it because they did not allow this to be debated in the original form of the legislation. We were not able to debate this in the House. We were not able to call expert witnesses to weigh in on this. They are introducing an amendment to ban hundreds of models of perfectly legitimate hunting rifles at committee stage. So it has really limited any democratic scrutiny. This is coming in light of a 92% increase in gang-related homicides since Trudeau took office. We have a 32% rise in violent crime since Trudeau took office. So we're seeing gang and criminal violence, often with illegally smuggled in handguns from the U.S. Canadians are rightfully concerned about the gang and criminal activity concerning firearms. And yet the Liberal government is putting their energy into going after hunters. They're going after Grandpa Joe's hunting rifle instead of gangsters in Toronto. This is in fact the largest assault on hunters in the history of Canada that I'm aware of. They're taking non-restricted, the lowest classification, in much of the case, perfectly legitimate hunting rifles, and making them prohibited, completely banning them. And unlike with the OIC that came out 2.5 years ago, where they told Canadians who own these firearms legitimately, don't worry, we'll pay you for them, that doesn't appear to be the case here. It's deeply concerning, and again, the focus should be on the gang-related homicide spike that we've seen, and yet they're targeting hunters, and it's completely unfair to Canadians' perfectly legitimate hunting community. They're being attacked by the Liberals when we have a legitimate gang violence problem. To say nothing of the cost, we know that their OIC, that so-called buyback, which is a confiscation regime, is estimated to cost now $5 billion. They do come back and say, oh wait, we're going to compensate hunting rifles. It'll easily double. Because hunting rifles are expensive. They're expensive tools. Are we talking about $10 billion to be spent on hunting rifles and others when we have a gang violence issue in our cities? Legislation was sold to Canadians as a handgun freeze. Also talked a bit about red flag laws. Hunting rifles was not anywhere part of the mandate of this bill at all. It's completely outside the scope. Frankly, it's devastating to the hunting community. Their arguments so far that they've said we respect hunters, we're not coming after them, that's 7 years of lies, and now they are.